Hello, everyone. First of all, a warm welcome to Data Science Training by Unogeeks. It's a first session for your batch today. I'll start with my introduction. This is Satya, senior data scientist with almost 20 plus years of experience in data science. I've led and delivered 15 plus complex data science projects end-to-end for Fortune 500 clients. I also have pretty good experience as a data science trainer, having completed 100 plus batches, including corporate trainings. I'm going to be the instructor for your batch, and let's get started. So this is what I have on agenda for today. I'll give you a brief introduction to data science, and we'll look at a couple of applications of data science so that you understand what industries are embracing data science at the moment. And I'll also throw some light on how data science has evolved in the last 3 to 4 decades. And things get interesting in the second half. And I'll be talking about what exactly a data scientist do. Because all of us want to become a data scientist, and you need to exactly know what you will be doing as a daily routine. And once you understand what you would be doing on a daily basis as a data scientist, we will try to understand what skills would you need to play that role effectively. What skills do you need to become a good data scientist? And I'll give you a high-level overview of course content. And I'll wrap up a session by stressing on why data science is a high-demand career path that you have to choose today. Did you ever wonder how a face unlock on a phone works? Be it iPhone or any other phone, you look at the phone and it gets unlocked. Did any of you wonder how it works in the background? Or did you worry about how Netflix knows what you might probably want to watch next? How does it recommend movies? Based on what you watch in the past, it usually comes up with the recommendations, and most often Netflix is able to capture what is it that we want to watch next. Or how are companies delivering personalized ad to the customers at the moment? So all of us receive ads, right, day in and day out, and those are personalized ads. For example, a little while ago, I received a message from HDFC saying that there's a personal loan offer exclusively for you at a discounted rate, and it clearly says that based on your excellent repayment history, this is a offer that we have in specific for you. So how are customers or how are companies delivering those personalized ad to the customers? The simple answer is data science. Now, what exactly data science is? A textbook definition. It is the science and art of analyzing raw data and transforming it into meaningful information to solve problems. One-liner. Data science is all about extracting meaningful information from data. And this is exactly what you do as a data scientist. We just have to analyze the data and extract meaningful information out of it. Now, data science is an interdisciplinary field, and it is a combination of computer science, mathematics, and statistics. Why data science has become quite famous in the last 5 to 10 years, guys? It's because of a data boom that we had in the last 10 years. Would you believe me if I say that 99% of the data that we have today has been generated in the last 10 years? Videos, images, or reviews or posts that you do on social media, they generate massive amounts of data. And apart from social media, we've got sensors for pretty much everything. For temperatures, we have sensor for pressure and various other sensors that are deployed on the machines to keep them under check. And these sensors generate generate the recordings every minute or every second. And apart from that, we also have business data stored electronically today. So gone are those old days where companies used to maintain documents paper-based. So in today's world, every document, be it sales, marketing, or any document, is stored electronically by any company. So all of this have contributed to the data boom. Yes, we've got a lot of data today, but where do we store and analyze that data? Thanks to the technology advancements, we store and analyze this data on servers, computers, laptops, mobiles, and all of these have become much more powerful and cheaper today because of those technological advancements. And that's precisely where, yes, most companies are able to afford them today. And that is where use cases of data science have grown. Let's discuss some of the applications of data science. Data science has contributed immensely to a lot of industries, transforming the way they function today. Two types of companies that integrated data science very well into their businesses today are social media and e-commerce. Well, social media firms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they are using data science to understand the user behavior, deliver personalized recommendations and ads to the customers. So all of us use Instagram, right? So let's say you go to Instagram and watch a couple of videos related to, say, iPhone 16 Pro launch. After, let's say you close the app and open it after an hour or after one day. So in your feed, 5 out of 10 posts that you see would be related to iPhone. So it could be an ad from a seller of iPhone, or it can be a review of iPhone. So how is Instagram able to understand the user behavior, deliver personalized recommendations as well as ads to the customers? It's all because of data science. And a lot of e-commerce applications that we use today, be it Amazon, Myntra, or any other app, they use data science to come up with good recommendations for the customers. And that would deliver good customer experience. And e-commerce applications also use data science to predict what's the sales going to be in the upcoming festive season. So if I just open up Amazon here, so the moment you go into homepage, you would be able to see a lot of tabs here which leverage data science in the background. So right at the beginning, I see a section which is prompting me to pick up from where I've left off. And I'm also able to see a section where I'm able to see the items here that I'm more probably interested to buy. And also, if you pick up any particular item, say for example, I pick up this biometric device, and if you scroll down a little bit, of course, it tells you what other things that you might want to buy along with it. That's fine, but this is the most important part. So how is Amazon able to understand and show you this particular section? So this section basically shows you, this are similar to you, others who have bought this biometric device have viewed these devices first before they made the choice. So how is Amazon able to pull out all these details from the other customers who have bought this particular device? Thanks to data science. And generative AI tools that we have today, be it ChatGPT, Bard, or Bing, these are generative AI tools from different vendors. Bard is from Google, Bing is from Microsoft, ChatGPT is from OpenAI. These generative AI tools have created quite a sensation in the last 2 to 3 years. In fact, it has revolutionized the content creation across industries. And it has been one of the most exciting applications of data science that I have seen in the last 20 years. And a lot of companies are leveraging these generative AI tools to get their work done, whatever that work is, be it writing a Python program or coming up, or be it coming up with a strategy to market a training course. These tools would be able to assist you. Let me give you a quick preview. So I'm in ChatGPT at the moment, and this is from OpenAI. It's a number one Gen AI tool that we have today. And you can ask it to do pretty much anything you want. You can ask it to create an image. You can ask it to surprise you, or you can ask for an advice, or it can even code for you. So if I say, write a Python program to find out whether a year is leap year or not. In less than 10 seconds, you should be able to see data. You should be able to see ChatGPT coming up with a code that actually works. And you also have a description as well. And not just the code, you can ask it pretty much anything you want, and it would be able to perform the task for you. So for example, if I ask it to generate an image of astronaut selling pani puri, in less than 10 seconds, you should be able to see it generating an image. So it doesn't really matter what your ask is, be it writing a program, generating a strategy, or coming up with or analyzing an Excel sheet. It would be able to do pretty much anything you want. And you see a beautiful image has been generated. So generative AI tools is a next exciting thing, or the most exciting thing that has happened in data science so far. And it has revolutionized the way a content gets created in the last 2 to 3 years. And yes, we will be covering Gen AI tools in detail as part of our training course. Let's discuss how our data science has evolved in the last 3 to 4 decades. In 1962, John Tukey firstly came up with the idea of leveraging computer systems as opposed to human brain for performing statistical analysis. Now, what are the advantages that we get with this? So if we, as humans, do the statistical analysis, let's say we analyzed a few files, we do get tired at the end of it after working for a few hours. And if we start analyzing few more sheets, there is more chance that you might commit mistakes. But if you use computer systems as opposed to human brain for statistical analysis, what are the advantages that you get with it? Better speed, because you can add a processing power quite easily to the systems. Better viability in a long run. And they might also give you a better precision as compared to human brain. And in 1974, Peter Noer, in his book called Concise Survey of Computer Methods, first came up with a term called data science. He has first coined the term data science in his book in 1974. And in between 1980 and 1990, data mining has happened. A lot of data has been extracted. And there was a requirement for professionals who can leverage or do a reliable statistical analysis on real world data. And there is a requirement for professionals who can analyze the data and discover trends, patterns, or relationships between them. And this data mining has occurred in various industries. It happened across industries, be it healthcare, retail, or manufacturing. And in early 2000s, we have a big data explosion. In the second half of 1990s, we had that internet boom explosion. Internet boom has caused a data explosion, and we've started seeing extremely large sets of complex and disconnected data that needs to be analyzed. So if it's only a matter of analyzing a CSV sheets or Excels, humans can do it quite easily. But what if you have to analyze extremely large sets of complex and disconnected data? That's exactly where you need experienced professionals. And in 2005, we started seeing job titles like data miners or data analysts. There are a lot of requirements for professionals who can extract the data using statistical and mathematical techniques, and not just extract, but also analyze it. And in the year 2008, a data scientist, a word has become quite famous. And it came into a real-time usage, if I have to put it that way. And data scientist is referred to a person or to someone who uses statistics, machine learning, and other tools to extract insights from large data sets. And in 2012, Harvard Business Review, one of the leading journals, the leading university as well, has mentioned data scientist as the sexiest job of the century. And it still holds good. And in between 2014 to 2016, we've got a few more applications of data science that came up, especially in deep learning, natural language processing, NLP. So these tools basically help you to deal with text-based data. So all of us would have seen this, right? So when you open up Outlook and start writing an email to your friend, so the moment you type in, I hope you, immediately you see a recommendation that says, are well. And 9 out of 10 times, this is what you want to do. And how is it able to predict that this is what you want to put after I hope you? How is it able to predict that are well are the words that you want to put after this? That's because of natural language processing tools. And we also have computer vision, which would help you to deal with images and videos. Remember the first slide that we have seen today, wherein a phone gets unlocked when you look at it? That's because of computer vision. And NLP tools are used to do sentiment analysis. So let's say one of the company has released a game, and let's say they've got 5,000 reviews in the first week. And company wants to understand how many of them were positive, negative, and moderate. So they cannot hire people to read each and every review and rate it as either positive or negative. And that's exactly where we would be using NLP tools to do the sentiment analysis and understand what is the average rating that we have got, how many of them were positive and how many were negative. And all of us have these virtual assistants at home, right? So you pass on commands to it. So you have Alexa at home. The moment you return from office, you, hey Alexa, good evening. Can you play some cool songs? And it would immediately start playing some music. And you also have seen that auto completion of emails, right? So these are just a few applications. There are plenty more. These are just a few applications of NLP. And when it comes to computer vision, yes, it is used to track the ball and player movement. And you might have probably seen this on many payment sites, right? So when you start making a payment in any e-commerce or any banking application, you might want to add your card, and you don't have patience to type in the entire 16-digit card number. You would immediately see an option which says scan your card. And the moment you scan your card, it would be able to scan the card and populate the data there immediately. But how is it able to scan the card and populate, read the digits, everything that we have on it? It's because of computer vision. And the whole concept of self-driving cars and plenty of other applications, they are possible today because of computer vision. And yes, we'll be covering both the NLP as well as computer vision as part of the course in the deep learning section. And in 2022, we've seen those generative AI tools coming up, like ChatGPT, Bard, and Bing. I spoke about these tools a while ago. In fact, I've also shown you how a ChatGPT can help to generate text or code or image or anything that you want to do. And this is a summary of how data science has evolved in the last 5 to 6 decades. Let's spend some time to understand the daily routine of a data scientist. See, all of us want to become data scientists. And let me give you a preview of what exactly you would be doing once you start working as a data scientist. Meet Alex, who is an experienced data scientist, and he works for Plantopedia. It's a company that delivers plans to the doorsteps of the customers. Alex would log in at 9 o'clock. He would check his emails, response to them. And if there are any pending queries from the previous day, he would be addressing them as well. At 10 o'clock, Alex would look at the dashboards where you have the reports and the dashboards created using Power BI. Alex would carefully monitor them and try to discover any hidden patterns or trends that are available in there. And he would also see if there are any alarms raised there that he or his team needs to act on immediately. Maybe inventory going down for a particular product, or maybe there is a sales dip predicted. So watch out. Alex would carefully monitor the dashboards for any such alarms. And as a data scientist, yes, when you start off your career, you might probably work on one project. But as you grow in experience, you would be working on multiple projects at the same time. You might be working on projects which are in research phase, trying to understand what exactly the requirements are. And you might also be a part of projects which are ready for deployment, meaning you created all the required machine learning models, all set for deployment. They're trained as well. And you might also be supporting some projects which are already deployed to production. At 11 o'clock, Alex would start building a machine learning model to predict what would be the next month's sales for the products that Plantopedia sells. And how do we do it? Yes, we'll be covering it in detail as we progress in the course. There are various machine learning models that we can build, which can help you predict the next month's sales. And once Alex builds this machine learning model, which can help predict what's going to be the next month's sales for these products, after the model is created, he would be training it with the past data that is available. And once the model is trained, validated, ready to be deployed, he would pass on the sheet for which it has to make the predictions. And whatever predictions have come out of the model, those predictions would be shared with the relevant teams, sales, marketing, inventory, and so on, so that Plantopedia can plan well for the next month's sales. And at 12 o'clock, Alex receives an alarm on his dashboard saying that raw material is going down for a specific product, as a result of which there has been a downward projection for our sales, which is absolutely not acceptable. Alex immediately starts a Zoom meeting, pulls in other team members from procurement, marketing, sales, management, etc. And he would make them realize the gravity of the situation, help them understand what are the things that we need to do, what are the actions that we need to perform to fix this issue ASAP. Yes, inventory or a procurement specialist would raise a requisition for purchase of the raw materials ASAP, and they would try to address the issue or at least minimize the impact of it. And at 2 o'clock, Alex would go off for a lunch. And at 3 o'clock, at 3 p.m., Alex might be working on a ChatGPT powered chatbot. Plantopedia wants to deploy a chatbot on their website, which would be in a position to respond to a customer queries. Let's say I'm a customer of Plantopedia. I go to their website and I see a chatbot there and I type in a question which says, what kind of soil is suitable to grow rose plants? Now, who would respond to those questions? Alex makes use of ChatGPT, which is a Gen AI tool that we covered previous sessions. So it's one of the very popular Gen AI tool that can respond to the questions that you ask. And yes, Alex would create a ChatGPT powered chatbot, and he would install this chatbot on the website of Plantopedia so that our customers like me, or when we go onto that website and type in a question there, I would immediately get back a response. But as a customer, I wouldn't be knowing that the response is coming from a ChatGPT in the background. But yes, as a customer, I would eventually be happy that my question is answered appropriately or accurately rather. And at 4 o'clock, he might get into a meeting with a data engineering team. As a data scientist, you work with many teams, guys, but data engineering is one team that you work very, very closely with, because this is a team that would be particularly responsible for pulling the data from various sources, clean it, and make that data available for you as a data scientist for doing the required analysis. And at 5 o'clock, you might get into a meeting with multiple teams again. So you might have marketing, product development, finance teams involved in it. And you might discuss a range of issues like what are the products that you want to plan in pipeline, what's the strategy that you want, or what are the exact problems that those teams are facing, wherein you can leverage machine learning to help them. And at 6 o'clock, Alex would leave office. So this is, in short, a daily routine of a data scientist. Now that you know the daily routine of a data scientist, let's try to understand what are the skills required to become a good data scientist. You can broadly classify the skills required for a data scientist into technical and non-technical skills. And when it comes to technical, these are the six key skills key technical skills that you need to have. So let's discuss them briefly. Database querying. In most cases, the data that we need to analyze sits in some database or the other. And yes, there would be a data engineering team that would do most of the work related to pulling the data from those databases, validating it, transforming it, or cleaning it. But as a good data scientist, you need to have, or you need to be at least familiar with a database querying skills. So you need to have that SQL knowledge that you use to extract and manipulate the data using a SQL queries. And we should also be in a position to write code to process, analyze, and visualize the data. Yes, we need to have a little bit of programming skills. We don't need to be a hardcore programmer, but at least you should be in a position to write basic to medium complex programs to process, analyze, and visualize the data. And there are a lot of programming languages that we use as data scientists, but Python is one of the most commonly used language. Even though you have other alternatives like R and other languages, we use Python quite extensively. And there are many reasons behind it. We'll be discussing about it in tomorrow's session. A few reasons being, the syntax for Python is very simple. It looks like a plain and simple English language. And you have a lot of libraries readily available in Python, making it much more easier for you to do whatever tasks that you need to do in Python quite easily. And we would be using Python quite extensively throughout the course. And we would use it to build the visualizations. We would use it to build the models. And we would also use it extensively to do the data analysis as well. And as a data scientist, we also need to have a good statistical knowledge. Remember, when I say statistics, people ask me, Prasad, should I go back and revise 11th and 12th class statistics? And do you want me to remember or by heart all those statistical formulas? Absolutely not required, guys. But you need to have a little bit of knowledge of statistics. There are a lot of tools available in Python. There are a lot of libraries available in Python. And even in Excel also, you have a lot of tools that are available or plugins that are available which can help you to do the statistical analysis quite easily. What are few famous Python libraries that can help you to do the statistical analysis? You have NumPy, Pandas, SciPy, and we'll be covering these in quite detail as we progress in the course. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm stressing on it one more time. So when I use terms like statistics or building machine learning models, don't get scared. It's just a matter of calling a Python library to build a statistical model or to do the analysis. But yes, you need to have that statistical knowledge to be able to understand the results that are given by those libraries. And you also need to have a good data visualization skills. So as a data scientist, we build quite a few dashboards. And what exactly a dashboard is? It's nothing but a bunch of reports put together, nothing but a bunch of reports put together onto a single page. And we would be using, as a data scientist, we look at these dashboards on a daily basis to see if there is something that you have to worry about. And there are various data visualization tools that are available. Like you have a Power BI from Microsoft, and we have a Tableau from Salesforce. Few years back, Tableau used to be the number one visualization tool. But in the last 3 to 4 years, especially Power BI it has become the number one visualization tool in the market today. And the kind of features that are available, data visualization features available in Power BI today, there's no match for it. And yes, we would be using Power BI as part of data visualization for data visualization in the course. And you also have quite a few libraries in Python as well, like Matplotlib, Seaborn, which would help you to build those visualizations quite easily. And the key technical skill that you need to have as a data scientist is the ability to build machine learning models. Yes, we would be building, training, and evaluating predictive models. There are a variety of machine learning models that you can build, supervised, unsupervised. And in supervised, you again build two different types of models, regression-based or classification-based models. And when I say building a machine learning model, students start getting scared. Absolutely nothing to worry, guys. Building a machine learning model is nothing but calling or writing few lines of code in Python, calling libraries that would help you to build those machine learning models. So you're not doing any rocket science here. It's a matter of calling few Python libraries in a script to build a model. We'll build it, train it, deploy it, and use it to make the predictions. As simple as that. But yes, as a data scientist, this is your core job. This is where your core expertise is required. And after you build the models, of course, you need a platform to deploy them, right? Yes, you can deploy them on premise, but cloud computing skills are what you need to have because as data scientists, we today leverage cloud computing options that are available for efficient data processing. So especially when you build complex data models, guys, they might need powerful CPUs or GPUs to process the data and give you the result in real quick time. And building or buying those powerful CPUs or GPUs just because you need to use them for a brief moment when that model runs doesn't make financial sense. And that's exactly where we as data scientists leverage any of the cloud computing platform. Mostly we use AWS, Amazon Web Services, and we deploy our machine learning model to it. And for that model to run, we would be launching a powerful CPU or GPU on the fly, and we use it for efficient data processing. Yes, you don't need to be a cloud computing expert or an AWS expert for that matter, but you just need to know how to deploy the models efficiently so that they can run and give you better performance. And apart from technical skills, you also need to have a few non-technical skills to become a good data scientist. You should be having good problem solving skills. You need to have a business acumen to understand what are the expectations from the business side. And you should be in a position to collaborate with other teams. See, as a data scientist, you cannot be an individual contributor. You would often talk to teams, understand, collaborate with them, and you also need to have a zeal to learn, because data science is a rapidly growing field, and you have a lot of things coming up new every few months, and you should have a passion to learn, and you should also have good communication skills, because this is what eventually you would be using to communicate everything that you have done on a daily basis. Why you should learn data science today? So as per a World Economic Forum study, close to 12 million new jobs will be added in data science in the next couple of years by 2026. And NASSCOM predicts that 75 to 80% of those job openings fall between 0 to 5 years of experience span. So it doesn't really matter whether you're a fresher waiting for your first breakthrough, or you are an experienced resource with 3 to 4 years of experience already under your belt in a not data science space. You can still learn data science and get into that high paying career path. As per Times of India, the salary range of a data scientist ranges from 4 to 52 lakhs per annum. You could see that the range is pretty wide. It's because it depends on how well you absorb the content and how well you do in the interview. That would determine what is the amount of salary that gets paid to you, and obviously the companies that you are attending the interview in. And data scientists are the new rock stars, and the best time to master data science is now. And why should you learn data science from Unogeeks? Whatever skills that we have seen earlier, be it a technical or non-technical, we would be covering all those technical as well as non-technical skills over a period of 3 to 4 months in this comprehensive data science training program. On the technical side, we will be building, or we'll be covering 15 modules, covering everything that you need to know in data science end to end. So we'll start off with the basics of Python. And when I say basics, you don't have to come prepared. So we would start off with even the variable declaration as well in Python. We'll be covering the basics of Python in the first module. And when I say we cover the basics, we cover it starting from basics. We would even be talking about how to define basic variables as well. So you don't have to come prepared for any of these modules. We will cover the required basics first, and then we slowly and gradually increase the complexity of it. And by the time we complete the first module, you would become an expert in Python. And knowing how to code in Python is different from understanding how to use Python for data science, for data science. Because in this module, module 2, we will be teaching you how you can leverage Python for a variety of data scientist tasks. So be it reading a complex Excel or JSON files, to doing exploratory data analysis tasks. And we would also be covering how to build a data visualization with the help of libraries like Seaborn, Matplotlib, etc. So we'll be covering all those concepts in this Python for data science module. And once we are comfortable with Python and its usage in data science, we would be building the required knowledge on the exploratory data analysis and statistics. See, as a data scientist, you definitely need to have a pretty good knowledge of EDA and statistics. We'll be covering everything that you need to know in this particular module. You don't have to revise or come prepared for this one. So we'll be covering everything from scratch. And apart from Python, EDA, and statistics, you also need to have pretty good experience in SQL and Power BI. So SQL is typically used to do the database programming. We'll be covering it in depth, and we will start off with a basic select statement, and we'll go on to building complex SQL queries, linking multiple tables using the left joins, right outer joins, and so on. And we would also be covering a visualization tool, Power BI from Microsoft, and we would be covering this end to end. So this is the foundation that you need: Python, EDA, statistics, SQL, and Power BI. You need to have a solid foundation in each of these skills before you start building your models. And that's what we're going to spend quite a bit of time on. And then we build our first first machine learning model, which is KNN, so that you get used to the machine learning model build process or a build workflow that you need to follow. And then we go ahead and build the foundational machine learning models, machine learning algorithms. And we would be covering both the supervised models as well as unsupervised machine learning models. And in case of supervised, we would again be covering the regression as well as the classification models. So we'll be building 5 models in total. So we'll be covering linear regression, again, single and multiple linear regressions. We'll be covering logistic regression models. We'll be covering support vector machines, naive Bayes, and we'll be covering 5 machine learning models in the foundational ML modules. And we would also be covering a few advanced machine learning models or concepts like bagging and boosting. And we would be covering unsupervised machine learning models as well, like a DB scan or HCA, which are typically used to do the clustering. And when I say these words, like we'll be building 5 supervised models and a few unsupervised models, don't get scared. So model building is no rocket science. With a solid foundation that you're going to get here, it's only a matter of writing few lines of code in Python, calling a few machine learning libraries in order to build, train, and deploy the model. And after the model build is done, so we would train it, validate it, and we would test the results. And if everything goes fine, eventually we'll have to deploy it. And this is something not many of the institutes cover at this point in time. Not just this, most of the training institutes who offer data science today don't cover these many modules. And even if they cover them, they won't cover them to the depth that we're going to do. So we'll be showing you how to deploy machine learning models, both on-premise as well as cloud. And we will also be covering deep learning in quite detail. And we'll be using PyTorch to explain how a deep learning works. And 2 very important applications of deep learning: applied computer vision and NLP, natural language processing. These are the 2 important applications of deep learning that we'll be spending quite a bit of time on. And we will, as a last module in the course, we'll be covering generative AI tools like ChatGPT. And I'll show you how LangChain and the LLMs work. And this would give you everything that you need to explore Gen AI a bit further. And one good thing is for each of these modules, yes, we'll be starting off from basics. We'll slowly and gradually increase the complexity in every module. And before we move on to the next module, we would be doing a real-time project after every module is done. So this would help you gain a solid foundation in each of these concepts and make you job and interview ready. So these are the 15 modules that we're going to cover on the technical side, and we would also be training you on the non-technical skills, and we'll be conducting special trainings to improve your communication, verbal, and analytical reasoning skills. So these would be particularly important if you're waiting for your first breakthrough as a fresher, because whenever you attend an interview in any company today, yes, proving your data science skills is one thing. And apart from that, companies would also test you on your communication, verbal, and analytical reasoning skills as well. And we'll be preparing you for, we'll be conducting a special training sessions to improve these skills. And we don't just stop there. We would also make you job ready and interview ready. We have a dedicated career services team, and all they do is prepare crisp job profiles for every passing out batch. And we would be creating crisp job profiles for each one of you in LinkedIn and Naukri. And we'll be sharing a list of interview questions. The expectation is you go through the list of questions, understand. We'll be conducting a mock interview. Not just one, we'll conduct multiple interviews, and we would be providing personalized feedback. So when we cover so many modules, not everybody would be weak or strong in one particular area. So it varies from person to person. Somebody might be very good in Python, and they might be slightly weaker on SQL or Power BI. So only after we conduct a mock interview, we would be able to give you that personalized feedback and work with you to improve those areas. And we'll be giving you a 6 months internship certificate. So when you start applying for jobs, you're not going to say that, yes, I attended a training program at Unogeeks and I'm looking for a data scientist job. So instead, you're going to market your profile in such a way that you say that you have done a 6 months internship program on data science at Unogeeks for one of their internal clients. And yes, a 3 to 4 months of training program, and you would need at least a couple of months to prepare well for the interviews. So that 6 months duration, we would be giving you an internship certificate to cover for that. And we would also be marketing your profiles to the companies with data science job openings. You have thousands of job openings in data science today, especially for freshers. And our career services team, as and when every batch of data science is complete, will be pulling out all the profiles and we'll be sending them out to companies where you have the data science openings. We'll do our 200%. We'll make you job ready and interview ready. We'll cover everything that you need to know to become a good data scientist. It's just that you have to dedicate 3 to 4 hours of your time for 4 to 5 months. And that's all you need to become a good data scientist.